Good morning, what's up? It's 8:57 in the morning on Sunday, October 2nd. It's fall, not really here in Florida, but everywhere else. This is your weekly Wang update, and this one, it's honestly a little, like, I'm very open, but when I see who watches my stuff, who likes my stuff, it's honestly, like, a little embarrassing, because I know a lot of trans people do. That's not who it is. It's like people from my past, people who I grew up as a girl with, people who when I went to high school with, people who are, it just, and I know they're being supportive, but it also is like, oh yeah, they're gonna see this. And it's just like, I don't see videos of them talking about their junk and their sex lives and stuff. And so, but I know also, like, we're all adults, we're all there. Okay. So either way, this is about being connected to my cock in ways that I did not imagine. You know, as I've said before, on testosterone, one of the first changes, you know, you get all the voice, you get the hair, the muscles, but also, like, what is the clitoris in someone assigned female at birth grows into a small penis. Some people are luckier than others, but basically the nerve hookup, nerves are taken from my arm, innervated with my little phallus, so that's why most of the sensation is going to be on the, you know, dorsal, meaning the bottom side of my cock, and that's why, like, a lot of the sensation is in the burial, which is buried in the scrotum. So even if I were to never get sensation in my actual phallus, I have my own, basically, neo mini phallus buried in there that still is very much sensate, and because I was assigned female at birth, it has 8,000 nerve endings instead of just 4,000, like someone assigned male at birth at the head of their cock. So I do have that, and it works. I can orgasm already. It's wonderful. So I hope I'm not one of 5% of people who does not get sensation, but if I don't, I will know at least I have the ability to orgasm. But I do hope for sensation, both sexual, even though that's more of a, you know, erotic sensation is mental. There's no such thing as, like, an erotic nerve. But, like, where, like, temporal, like, I want to be able to feel temperature, like a woman's wetness or warmth, things like that. I really hope that comes. Fingers crossed. Sensation takes about at least a year for phalloplasty. So, at this point, I don't feel anything, but also I'm able to stimulate myself. And a recent paper came out with another surgeon who did not perform my surgery, but he's in the Pacific Northwest, and he talked about nerve stimulation and basically use it or lose it. So basically stimulating can help things go, and after I self-stimulate, I can feel the shocks. They start coming, and it's really super interesting. But basically the thing that's most interesting is this surgery has allowed me to feel more connected to my neophallus. I feel it get erect a lot more than I did before surgery. I feel it, yeah, it's just more pronounced. I feel it inside, like, get hard, and it makes my big cock jerk. It's very interesting, and I also wonder if it's certain positions, because, you know, I'll feel spontaneous erections a lot more. I thought I was, you know, I'm 17 years on T. It happened a lot more when I was first going through puberty, but now it's kind of like, all right, my dick's settled. But it happens more, but I notice, like, when I'm laying on my right side, like, that stimulates my phallus, and it just starts twitching by itself, and it's such a cool, interesting thing. And I'm not even 7 weeks out, but it twitches and it moves by itself, and I can control the movement too. It's wild. There's, like, this muscle, and I can, like, pull it back, and it's hot. Like, I can move it in my pants. And one thing is, you know, I'll never get erect on my own, because my dick is made from the skin of my arm, and so it does not have erectile tissue. It does not have that corpus cavernosum or whatever of a cis male penis. So you give that up. There's pros and cons to phalloplasty, of course, but it's so interesting to be able to move it on my own, and that's definitely a plus, because it sucks. You know, I had to really think. There's another procedure available called metoidoplasty. It results in a much smaller phallus, but you can get your own erections, fully sensate, can still pee standing up, get your scrotoplasty, all that. So a lot of people opt for that because erections. And so I really thought metoidoplasty might be a thing for me, because I could still pee standing up, had a good result, and wouldn't have to give up my arm and leg. But in the end, I knew I wanted, like, a good size cock, and so a good size cock I got. So yeah, basically this is just, I feel so much more connected to my dick than I ever thought I would, especially this early on. And so I don't feel it. Like, if you were to touch it, I don't feel that, but I can feel my burial, and my burial feels so connected to it, to the actual phallus. It's so interesting. It's just kind of like this, I don't know, it's almost like it's like the microchip or the control board of the big one. Like, okay, let's get hard. Like, I don't know, it's so interesting. And so I hadn't really heard anyone talk about that too much. I had come across a blog a couple years ago. A guy had surgery with Blue Bond Langner in NYU, who I originally wanted to go with, but her wait list is 4 years. No, thank you. So happy I went with Dr. DeLeon. And so he had talked about the twitching, and so that's the only time I'd ever really heard of it and kind of forgot about it. And I didn't want to look forward to it in case it didn't happen for me. But yeah, also my glandsplasty, it was healing real funky. I definitely lost a little bit of tissue, but it doesn't look as bad as you'd think for like losing a chunk of tissue. And there's going to be a little spot on top where I lose a little bit, but it might just look like the natural ridges of a penis. But I have a nice like VPL, visible penis line. Like it's like also little joys like that. Like in my pants, if I don't have underwear on and I'm free balling to kind of air it out, like I see my cockhead against the fabric and it's like, whoa, like that's me. It's not a packer. And it's so joyful, so awesome. And so that's cool. So basically this update was about sensation and how I do feel those nerve shocks, able to get off sexually, which is because I see in groups like the phallo group, sometimes like dudes are a year out and they haven't been able to orgasm yet or can't figure out how to stimulate. So that is no problem for me. So yeah, I think of all who will watch this, it's just kind of uncomfortable, but at the same time, I don't know, vulnerability is good and it's hard and we're all sexual beings anyway. So yeah, and a lot of people find this interesting and educational. So, and there's not enough stuff about phallo out there. So here we are, bearing my soul. All right, happy Sunday, everyone, and happy fall, happy October.